This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
You know, how you doing, everybody? This one is really special to me, and I'm going to talk a real lot about this on the other side. I've always had a soft spot for independent developers, especially a one-man show that has given, over 10 years of his life to something. Star Reach Games has created an incredible game that we're going to go down to the table and take a look at. It is Seismic. And it's amazing what one man can do. A one-man show creating just an incredible, amazing experience that we are going to talk about. Now, we're going to go down the table. We're going to take a look at all the components and everything like that. But I'm going to explain a lot of things on the other side that we're going to do with this, and we're going to talk about this. Right now, I just want to show you the incredible enormity of this game. And it's incredible what one man can do. Anybody with a dream and the passion and the heart to do something like this. So let's go down to the table and take a look at Seismic. I think if we start anywhere, we just have to show how the cover comes off of this bad boy. And as you can see, it's had a ton of backers behind it. I'm just trying to move this out of the way so I can do that. As you can see on the top, and your game is actually going to be here and it's going to slide out. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And we're going to pull out the factions themselves. Okay, you're going to have different colors. There's 6 different factions that you're going to have. This is going to be your tableau here, and you're going to have different abilities and be able to pick different things. You're going to have cards that are going to go in the slots here, okay? And what you're going to be able to do is, depending on that color, you'll be able to get an extra action as you do it. And once all these cards, because you're going to have 10 cards, you're going to put one down, face down, and then have one face up. And you're going to go through each section, which is really pretty incredible. The quality is just through the roof. Construction of your ship, how you're going to be getting the different parts. I'll show you the ships themselves very soon. The parts of the ships are in here, and you are going to be fighting in this game, and I do mean you are going to be brawling for sure. And you're going to have all kinds of different units. I mean, look at this guy right here, right? I mean, just absolutely beautiful. But also in here are the parts of your ship. So you're going to have certain things like harvesters, which are going to harvest materials. You're going to have miners. You're going to have soldiers. You're going to have power mechs, like I showed you. You're going to have all kinds of different soldiers that you're going to be fighting battles with. You're going to be trying to get all the different pieces of the ship, and I will show you where all these go. And I'll just take this one out for now to show you that. With this, and we're going to put this on top here, and just try to keep everything nice and neat without tearing everything up. You're going to get up to 6 factions, which there are 3 other factions here. Also, you are going to have an extensive rule book. They're going to show you how to put everything into the tray. I'm going to show you the board, but I'm not going to put all the board together because there's an outlining part for the board. And you're just trust me, you're going to see this. Your ships, your terrain tiles, mountains are going to be there. I'll show you all that. A very extensive rule book, which really does it's an easy read. I was surprised at how easy you were able to read this. Your quick start guide is going to help you set up and get going. It does not take you long to get this going, even though it feels like there's an enormity there. Your dice, you've got your dice in here. You've got your markers for conquering certain things. Cards, you're going to have different types of, for instance, you can be different factions, and there are a ton of factions that you can pick. Some of them are suited for 2-player games. There's going to be a little thing here that's going to tell you either 2-player, 3-player, or 4-player, 5 and 6. But all these are you know, for the most part, there are a lot of different factions. For instance, you've got the trickster. Yeah, and each one of these has a different type of thing. You know, the backstory to this is really incredible, in how they found this planet and they took all the best of people, entertainers, politicians, engineers, and different religions and leaders, and all came to terraform this particular planet. But what happened was, as they terraformed and changed it, of course, humanity became humanity, as it always does, and takes things to an nth level. And then, you know, the planet started falling apart. The terraforming went wrong. And now everybody's racing and fighting against each other, okay, to get off the planet. Because the first one that leaves will cause the planet to disintegrate, and that's the end of it. There are no victory points. There are no win conditions. The only win condition is survival, and only one of you will survive. The mountains for each rain, and I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to put this over to the side here. This here is just really incredible, the size of this board, and this is going to take up some room. I mean, it is going to fill up your table, and that's why I tried to get the camera up higher, so you could take a look. And these are going to be split into sections, and each section is going to have a certain material, you know, like desert, water, and so forth and so on. And then you're going to lay out these incredible tiles onto it. And, you know, there's tons of different cards, like I had said earlier, and stuff like that. You're going to put this around. The components are through the roof. I mean, through the roof. I mean, you look at some of these absolutely, nothing's cardboard. There's no cardboard in here. I mean, this is one man's dream and one man's passion, not to just make something cheap, but something unbelievably put together and incredible. Metal, you know, these metal tokens and just, you know, I just can't say enough about this. It's absolutely mind-blowing, you know, how everything works. So, you know, you're trying to save as many colonists as you can and get off the planet safely. The main thing is you're trying to build that ship, and ship construction is the heart of this game. You're trying to do it, and you're going to have, first of all, you're going to have your seismic counter, and this is all going to be filled, and it's all going to go until a complete fracture of the complete planet. And as you can see, I mean, all the cutouts, everything just done perfectly. And one of the things I want to do is I want to paint these up, because first player button, launch. I mean, just all in all, just absolutely fantastic. And all these things, I mean, you're looking at the gray part, but they all look like they've been sun dropped. Here are the parts for each of the planet, and I try to keep these on so they don't go flying all over the place, which I've done pretty well. I just broke that one, unfortunately. But as you can see, all these will be distributed out, and you'll have certain areas that you can start at, and certain areas that you cannot start at. I ripped the doggone thing. I didn't want to do that. Again, the components are through the roof. Like every time you complete a piece of the ship, you are going to be continually adding pieces in, and as you see, they stay in magnetically, which is pretty doggone cool. We're going to put that one there. I think I got them right so far. I may not. Who knows? But again, you know, just another absolutely fantastic, amazing masterpiece as you tried to build this ship in its completion to get off this planet. And I'm going to talk more about it on the other side of this, of how much this reminds me of a certain movie that I absolutely adore. And after reading it and watching a ton of videos and just kind of playing around a little bit and trying to figure it out myself, and that's why, you know, we're doing the component overview and just showing you the quality of this fantastic stuff, which has been absolutely mind-blowing. An incredible production, and absolutely something I am 100% into, and I really think you would enjoy this as well. It's amazing that one person did this. And you got companies filled with up to 100 people that are putting out things that don't have as much passion as this particular one game has. But we're going to be talking about this. I've got to get all the rules down 100%, and we'll do a playthrough. We're going to do a painting of the ships and the launch pads and the soldiers and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of cool to do a couple factions. We'll keep their majority of their color, but I think there's a lot of things that just be touched up and really done to really bring out what this person has absolutely put so much passion into. And you know, Jason Blake has done such an incredible job on this. One-man show that has just made an incredible experience and gave a good part of his existence to create something. The most amazing thing is a man with a dream. So let's go up top and get my some of my final thoughts here on our initial look at Seismic. I've reshot this ending like 3 or 4 different times since I did the unboxing, and I was showcasing things and talking about how I was messing the game. I had a chance to play the game, and it just confirms everything even more of what I felt in my initial learning the game, going through the components and everything that has gone with Seismic. One man's incredible passion, giving up 10 years, more than 10 years of your life, and doing it all yourself to make your dream come true, and be able to have a successful I don't know if he went on Kickstarter, forgive me if I'm right or wrong, or GameFound, doesn't matter, crowdfunding, and being able to do everything and put your life into something that means so much to it. And we had a chance to kind of chat back and forth on email a bit, and I was very impressed with who he was, and how hard it is. You don't understand, when big company makes a game, it costs maybe $10. So what is it to send it out to a bunch of creators? Some of them will do a good job, some of them don't care. That's just the way the business is. But for this guy who had to put so much into each game of his own money, and then to put his trust in me to take a look at it, speaks volumes. And the other people that he also trusted, praying that he has to sell a certain amount to make up for it. And I really hope you go out and buy this game, not because of anything that has transpired between Jason and myself, but because of what this game is, what it does. It speaks volumes about humanity. It's not a game where you're sitting there and it's all about victory points and things like that and stuff like that. It is you trying to be the best of humanity, both good and evil, and trying to get off a planet. And the minute you lift off, that planet is going to fall apart. And it reminds me, and it really hits home because I'm a very big science fiction fan. And it reminds me of a couple of movies from the 50s, particularly when worlds collide. When everybody in the last of humanity was had a lottery, and we were trying to decide who can go on that ship to go to the new planet, okay, to keep humanity alive, because the planet was going to die and everybody else on it was going to die. And the good, the evil, the rich, the politicians, the entertainers, and all these people that make up everything in this game were doing the same thing to be the last survivors, both good and bad, and just trying to take the best of humanity to have a chance to start all over. The incredible backstory of this game, okay, where it's, hey, we're going to terraform this planet, and all these different people from all different walks of life, and everything was really good for a while until the terraforming took a weird turn, and now everybody's trying to get off, and there's fighting and so forth and on. But there's also that bit of humanity that you may be trying to lift off, and if you roll that die, you know, there may be some things that you may not be able to lift off because of your humanity, to wait for, you know, to make sure that you have everybody from your faction on board, okay, you know, not cutting your losses and things like that, you know, because there's certain things that can happen and stuff like that if you try to take shortcuts. And each faction is the good and bad of who we are. And what this game does is just incredible. And all of you sitting there at the table trying to take each other out and be the last one to take your people off this planet, unfortunately, with maybe guilt or maybe no remorse at all of the people that you've left behind to die. An incredibly well thought out masterpiece. And like I said, I shot this 3 or 4 times because I wanted to make sure I convey to you out there, the people that watch me and are maybe thinking about this game or looking at the price tag and trying to justify it. And I'm telling you, it is justifiable. You saw the components. I didn't show you everything, even though that was a few days ago. But I'm trying to remember at least. But this is a game that you'll play. It's one of those games that you'll play and it'll stick with you for a while. You've played those games. There's some games that you play and you put back on the shelf and you forget about it. And then there's some games that you play and you sit there and you look at it and it sticks with you because of what it does, how it does it, and how well it does it. And the beautiful and incredible components. You know, at the end of June, matter of fact, I'm shooting this on the 1st. I'm going to start the painting videos, and then we'll do, by then I'll play it like 3 or 4 times with my kids, and then I'll be able to do a little bit of a playthrough, or maybe we'll tape some of that and then give you a 3rd video on top of this so you get the full feel. But if you have to go off my initial video, I suggest that you get a hold of this. This is something special, and that's why I'm talking so long about it, is because I really believe in it, and I'm amazed at Jason Blake for what he himself has done by himself, what a lot of big companies can't do, and that's give you heart, passion, story, and a thematic masterpiece. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.